I'll leave so you don't have to hear the
No, that's okay.
Maybe was where the exhaust fans on the roof.
Right.
Two minutes. I did fix that, by the way. Did you? Yes.
You know, we have any salvage, let's file the civil rights complaint.
It would be auto.
I was just talking to Chief of Police, if they think we should, well, let him talk first, with prepared remarks. That's one of the reasons they never ran for council. They're limited in what they're
He was
allowed.
grinning at me. I was acting silly.
That's been there.
Somebody has some paperwork they can pass out on.
Your bookmark's open. Got your bookmarks open. Okay.
Your safety is my main concern.
Together.
10 seconds, Mayor.
7 o'clock.
Okay, go ahead.
And to call this meeting to order. Can we have the Reverend Peter Moore from City of Hope Church come up and give the invocation? Well, rise.
Lord, we pray tonight for the council meeting tonight. Give the councilmen wisdom and guidance on tonight. May every decision be righteous in your sight for the benefits of the city of Lincoln Park. Protect the mayor, city council members, and Lincoln Park residents, fire. Keep them from harm and danger. Police, keep them from harm and danger on tonight. Lord, comfort Karen Risco family on tonight. Keep them in perfect peace. Keep them on tonight. They need you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. I have a few remarks I want to make.
Yeah, call it.
Oh, roll call. I'm sorry, Carrie.
Okay. Councilpersons Bear?
Here.
Dupre? Here. Nichols? Here. Ross? Here. Salcido?
Here.
Zor?
Here.
Mayor Tope?
I'm here.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off with, we had a demonstration of the permapatch, and it went really well. We talked about it at the last council meeting. It does the job of the cold patch, except it lasts a lot longer. So everybody was really happy with the demonstration, and we have bought 1 ton of that to start using that on some of the potholes in the city. So I think everybody will be really pleased with the results, and we'll still be using some cold patch, but this lasts so much longer, so you'll be seeing that around the city. Also, we have a gentleman that comes in and he talks about how unhappy he is with some things in the city not getting done through the ordinance department, and he gave me a list of properties that he's been complaining about. And I just want to let you know that the properties that he listed, we went out and we looked at them, and 4 of the properties, we found that they in fact had been out and had been looked at before, and they never complied. So they have all received letters to come into a compliance. They'll be checked on again, and if they're not done in the proper amount of time, they will get citations. Another one was for fencing. There was some brush and wood that he was complaining about. He had the wrong address on one. They found the correct address, and that was deemed to have no issues at all. Another one was deemed to have no issues when they went out. There was another one with brush and that they'd been out to, and it was deemed that there was logs that shouldn't have been there and they weren't stacked in the right place, so they will be getting a letter to come into compliance. He complained about a van in a driveway that had been there for a very long time. That is no longer there. It's been removed. Another one was, they were out on 2-4. They discovered multiple violations at this property, and they've been out, and they'll follow up on the 11th. After they got a letter, they'll follow up on the 11th to make sure that's being taken care of. He also complained about on an empty lot with cars being stored there, and in fact, that lot is owned by the car dealership, and they are all in compliance. Those cars are allowed to be there, and some of the cars were employee cars. So all those complaints have been addressed. The other thing, our wonderful clerk here dug deep and found an ordinance, a general policy from 1/19/1982, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Act 267 of the Public Acts of 1976, known as Open Meeting Act, provides that persons shall be permitted to address meetings of council under rules established and recorded. And whereas it is desired of the council to allow citizens to be heard, while at the same time being able to properly discharge its duties. And whereas it is deemed to be in the best interest of the city and in keeping with the Open Meetings Act to adopt the following rules. Now therefore be it resolved that the following rules be related to the address by the citizens are hereby established. 1. The agenda for each meeting shall contain a section for the allowance of any person to address the meeting on any matter listed on the agenda or any topic related to city affairs after being recognized by the presiding officer thereof. A speaker shall be limited to not more than 5 minutes under this section of the agenda. Any person shall be permitted to address meetings of the council after being recognized by the presiding officer thereof. At any time during the course of the meeting, if the person requesting to speak desires to speak on a particular matter, then under discussion, and such speaker shall be limited to not more than 5 minutes. If a large crowd is present and it becomes evident that a number of speakers wish to address the council, the presiding officer shall have the discretion to shorten the above time limits and/or to request comments be limited to spokespersons authorized to represent particular positions or viewpoints. The presiding officer shall have the discretion to extend the above time limits as unusual situations, or in those cases where presiding officers believe it to be in the best interest of the city to do so. Any person addressing the meeting shall, after being recognized to speak, state his or her name. Council members shall be permitted to ask questions of any speakers without limit, except as limited by presiding officer. Interruptions of a speaker by members of the council shall not be counted toward the speaker's allotted time. The city clerk is instructed to post a copy of this resolution at the front entrance of City Hall at council chambers and shall keep copies available in her office for free distribution to public on the basis of 1 copy per person. This resolution shall be placed in the appropriate section of the Policies and Procedure Manual. This motion was passed on 1/19/1982. So that is how the council will be addressed, and that's how we will follow procedures. And at the next meeting, we will have an update to this procedure and policy. And that's about it for my comments. We're going to move on now to the consent agenda. Okay, so approved minutes, regular meeting, January 27, 2025. Approved accounts and claims payable. Adopt federal poverty exemption guidelines. Attend training PD.
I'll move.
Support.
Councilpersons Ross?
Yes.
Zohr?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
And next, we're going to go into the sidewalk
Yes.
replacement program. Mr. Kazoo?
Good evening, Mayor and Council and audience. The first item before you on the agenda for myself is KD Cement is offered to extend their present sidewalk contract for an extension at their unit rates, which are 4-inch concrete sidewalk, $11.25 per square foot, and 6-inch concrete sidewalk at $12.50 per square foot. And that is the same price that they were the low red contractor 3 years ago. And again, this would be their third time offering this to this body to extend that same unit rate for the sidewalk program. The sidewalk program usually starts the beginning of July, which is the next budget year, because we've already utilized this particular budget year's sidewalk program, so it'd be for next year, starting July 1.
Be it resolved that the mayor and city council approves KD Cement's contract extension for the 2025 sidewalk repair program at their low red unit rates from 2022. The cost of the program is covered by the capital improvement funds.
Move.
Support.
Any discussion?
To the chair, I did research this, and it is, that is the prices that were given us. So, but at the same token, I feel it's a huge disservice to the citizens of Lincoln Park and some of the contractors that live in our city that we don't offer them a chance to bid on this work. That's all. I just, at some point in time, we have to start bidding this work. And you know it's been a point of contention of mine for quite a while.
Could I offer something? I agree. You have that opportunity. That's why it's brought before you. And if the city does put it out for a new bid, you run the risk of the prices being higher. But that's why it's brought before you, so that you could vote yes or no.
Any other discussion?
Through the chair, Your Honor. So spinning off, really what I think was going on here, we know what their bid is, right?
That is
If we
correct.
seal their bid and put it up for bid, we don't know what the other people are going to offer, right? What if it's lower? What if their bid came in lower? What would we do then?
You could run that risk, but once you put it out for rebid, then you wouldn't have the opportunity to go back and ask them to, oh, by the way, would you give us the same unit rate that you offered to us earlier?
I don't know if you understood my question.
Can't do what you're
You
suggesting.
can't do what I'm suggesting? 'Cause I'm saying, we know what their rate is, we have it in a sealed envelope, everyone knows what it is,
Right.
that would allow other companies to put a bid in, wouldn't it? I mean, fair game, that's all I'm trying to say.
If you put this out for bid, you have to, by law, offer it to everybody. You can't take anything that came before it into consideration, and he has the right to put a new bid in at a new price and hope that he's the lowest bidder, but you can't carry him over. If you put it up for bid, you take whoever the sealed bids come from that's the lowest red.
Okay.
He would have to submit a bid that was these same rates.
That's what I'm getting at. What if we just did the same bid?
He probably wouldn't.
Oh, that's all. No, thank you, John, that's all.
And Mayor, if I could add one thing to that, at some point, these contractors they're not going to be able to continue to offer us the extended pricing because costs are going up for them as well. So it is risky to do it either way, because potentially you could get a lower price, or potentially you could end up paying more.
I'm just saying,
Considerably
I've
more.
seen some work from some of our businesses that are citizens in our community, and it's a huge disservice to them to not be able to offer them this work.
Through the chair,
I'm just saying, it was just a suggestion.
just a quick comment. I think, not just as a council person, but as a taxpayer, that I appreciate the cost savings, because that allows us to do even more. That's it.
Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes. Okay, moving on.
The next item that I bring before you is the same type of offer from the contractor. HydroCorp has offered to extend their 2-year contract to assist the City of Lincoln Park in complying with the Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes, and Energy Eagle mandated cross-connection regulations, and this is the residential cross-connection program. And HydroCorp is a sole source presently provider. And to my knowledge, I believe that they have been working on this particular program 9 years, but they've also been employed by the city. I believe it's been 14 years.
Be it resolved that the mayor and city council authorize HydroCorp 2-year contract extension to assist the City of Lincoln Park in complying with the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy Eagle mandate residential cross-connection regulations. Be it further resolved that the total cost not to exceed $152,784 will be taken from the water cross-connection account number 592-920-928000.
Move.
Support. Discussion?
Yeah, before we go any further, I just want to say this cross-connectors and the backflow preventers are the same thing.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's just 2 different names for the same thing. Go ahead, Lillian.
I just want to clarify because I double-checked the payables from previous months. The cost is not the same from last year. This is going up a little bit. Not a whole ton, but it is up, isn't it?
Not that I saw, but what I'd like to do is if you think you saw that, I would like to pull this
Okay.
from the table, let's call it.
Perfect.
You just need to support withdrawn, Mayor, that's all you need.
Okay, support withdrawn.
John?
You can put on the agenda whenever you get the ready.
Withdrawn.
Thank you.
Is this for both items, Lillian?
Yes. Yes.
So can we just table the next one?
We can hold both of them till next.
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll go into,
Can I just ask a question real quick?
yeah.
This is mandated, though, is it not?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, both of those.
Will we be out of compliance if we don't get it in by a certain time?
No, because predominantly, because a lot of it, and most of it is, let's say, exterior work, cold weather work, they will not start the process until it warms up a little bit. Because what they're doing, and I'm going to speak to the residential, they're going, walking the neighborhoods, and they're looking at all the hose bibs coming out of the side of the homes, or the front of the homes. And what they're doing is they're putting a backflow preventer on the hose bib outside of the homes.
Thank you, sir.
And our present contract did end the end of January, but 2 weeks, I don't see where it's going to make a difference.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. G-Prints.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here to have a resolution to purchase a Ford 450 4x4 gas Type 1 ambulance. The Lincoln Park Fire Department is requesting purchase of a Ford F450 XLT 7.3 liter gasoline 4x4 Type 1 ambulance. This ambulance will replace the 10-year-old Ford 350 Type 3 ambulance we currently use as our frontline rescue. This new ambulance will be the frontline apparatus, and the old one will be used as a backup apparatus. This is a capital improvement project for 2024-2025. I'm requesting you to waive the normal bid process due to 3 bids that were obtained on Savick Buying Group. This is a nationwide bid process that meets all federal guidelines. They offer state bid prices like Minton. The three bids were as follows. One was Medic Specialty Vehicles at $232,981. Emergency Vehicles Plus is $298,321. And Braun Custom Ambulance was $347,645. The budget impact, the cost of the Ford F-450 XLT 7.3 gasoline 4x4 Type 1 ambulance is $218,060. This comes with a 3-year, $36,000 manufacturing warranty on the chassis, 6-year, $72,000 electrical warranty, and a 3-year, $36,000 limited ambulance warranty, and a 4-year paint warranty. Funds will come from the capital improvement number 410-001-983. It is recommended that the mayor and council adopt this resolution for the purchase of the Ford F-450 XLT 7.3-liter gasoline 4x4 Type 1 ambulance for $218,060. Any questions?
No?
Can I just say one thing? We are actually looking at financing options for this as well, so this resolution is authorizing the purchase, but we're looking at financing, so we don't have to put all of the cash out at once.
To the chair.
I gotta do the resolution first.
Oh, sorry.
Resolved that the mayor and council waive the bid process and approve the purchase of the Ford F-450 XLT 7.3-liter gasoline 4x4 Type 1 ambulance, a participating member of Savick Buying Group, a federally approved bidding group. Funds to come from capital improvement account 410-001-98 in the amount not to exceed $218,060.
Move.
Support.
Discussion. Eric?
The current ambulance that you have, is that a diesel?
Yes. No, it's a gasoline diesel.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolved that Maureen Tobin be and is hereby appointed to the Economic Development Corporation, term to expire on 5/1/2031.
So move.
Support.
Discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Dupre?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolved that Euless Jones be and is hereby appointed to the Downtown Development Authority, term to expire on 4/1/2028.
I'll move.
Support.
Discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolved that Elizabeth Joyce be and is hereby appointed to the Community Improvement Commission, term to expire on 5/1/2028.
Move.
Support.
Discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolved that Morgan Welborn be and is hereby appointed to the Community Improvement Commission, term to expire on 5/1/2028.
Move. Support.
Discussion. Clerk, call the roll.
Councilpersons Nichols?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Salcido?
Yes.
Zor?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes. Moving on. Are you reading this?
I can. There is a correction on it. It is not a renewal. Resolved that an annual 2025 used auto dealer license be approved for the following location: Car Hub LP Incorporated, 855 Southfield Road. The fees have been paid, the application and the insurance have been filed.
I'll move.
Support.
With, I would like to amend this resolution by adding language to include the following. No repair service allowed, and no business of any sort shall be concluded prior to the full C of O approval
Is there support
at
for
that
this?
business.
I'll
Can you
support
read
it.
that again?
No repairs, no repair service allowed, period. And no business of any sort shall be conducted prior to the full C of O approval. They are not within, per, bear with me a second here.
Well, through the chair, while you look, could I make a comment? Because I thought that with a temporary, you can do business.
He's asking that they not be allowed to do business until they have their completed C of O.
But that's not normal practice for us, right?
No.
Can you explain to them why you want that wording?
98-340C, an automotive service station and/or repair center, building, housing, an office and/or facility for servicing and/or washing motor vehicles shall be located not less than 40 feet from any street and not less than 15 feet from any side of any lot. And it says also, no automotive repair, service station or repair shall be permitted within a 5,000-foot radius of an existing repair facility. The Dave's Auto Repair is attached to this building. So how can they meet the 5,000-foot rule if it's attached?
Used car lots don't apply to that 5,000-foot rule.
But the problem is he wants to do service inside the building.
And Ed has spoken on this 5,000-foot rule before.
The application is for a used car license, Class B.
That's what we're
And that's all
voting
that
on.
council's voting on today. Councilman's adding a condition that it can't be used for a repair facility. I think it's eminently clear. That part you can put into the resolution, but there's two separate things they're asking for. That and not opening before they get a C of O. And that's what Councilman Ross brought up here, was why can't he open before he gets the full C of O? That's council's discretion. He's got a temporary. If you want to let him open, the minute you pass the license, he can. But I think it's clear from the proposed amendment that he can't then run a repair facility there, or body shop, anything of that like. So there's two separate parts of the resolution. It may just be in the way the councilman prepared the wording of the resolution. If you segregate the two, and if you want to pass it where he can't operate the other facility, that's part of your approval tonight. Include that. If you want to let him open without a C of O, then you remove that language. Because he's going to have to get a C of O or he'll get a ticket at some point. And that's council's
Yeah.
discretion.
Because the application was signed by the building department with stipulations, I thought.
Lots of stipulations.
With stipulations tied to temporary C of O.
Yes, and then
But they haven't, they have not met any of the, they have not done any of the work on the planning commission put out. They haven't worked on it.
Well, that's totally different then.
Yes.
but they're not open yet. Do I understand they're not open?
No.
Well, they need a C of O just like every other business does.
Correct.
Or they come and ask for an extension of the temporary to the building department and address it. That's an administrative decision, but council can make it clear shall not open without a certificate of occupancy. The building department will do what they have to do when it comes to that juncture.
Can I ask
Yes.
another question? The property that it adjoins, or the business, are they aware that they want to service their own, I'm assuming they're gonna service their own vehicles that they're putting up for sale, right? Not others? Not open to the public.
It
Kind of.
doesn't ma, it's stated in our ordinances what it can and can't be.
Well, they didn't apply for have they applied for the repair facility?
They applied for the variances, but they didn't meet the requirements yet for the variance.
So they don't have the variance. When they have that variance, they can come back and address that. Today, they're just asking for what, the car license?
The used auto dealer
Yeah,
license.
so if there is a mover and a supporter to this resolution with Eric's changes to it, that's where we stand right now.
We should vote on that amendment first,
Support
and
first, and then you
then
vote on the resolution.
there was
So is
support.
there a supporter and a mover on the amendment?
Jason supported that.
Do we have a
Mayor,
second?
because we're in discussion, may I add that there have been opinions, there have been decisions on the 5,000 feet difference. But that's not the issue before you today, whether it's 5,000 feet or 5 feet, which is what it really is here. That's not before you today. You're voting on the car license today. If you restrict this resolution allowing that license, they can't open for the other purpose because they don't have approval at this point, and they don't have a license.
But at the same token, it was originally stated to us that he was applying for a renewal. And after reviewing the documentation, it's actually a new, it was never a used car lot before.
Councilman, that's a point well taken. Does council understand what they've been asked to vote on in the initial resolution? Clerk can explain it. It's just for the...
It is not a renewal. It is a brand-new used auto dealer license that we're voting on today.
Madam Clerk, may I inquire, what are they permitted to do under that license? Sell used cars?
Sell used cars.
That's what they're asking for here today. And I think you understand what the other issues are, which you may come to vote on at some time, but it's not before you today. So after hearing that from the clerk, I don't know, you should preemptively ban something until they bring an application for you. It's like you're saying no before they ask the question. They may think they have approval for that, but they don't. And if you want to wait till they get the full C of O, but they're not open anyways. I don't know that it matters either way here.
They have a temporary C of O
I
right
understand,
now.
but they're not open anyway, so what's the difference? I mean, I'm sorry, that's a rhetorical question, so.
So, through the chair, real quick, so are they working on cars right now, or they're just selling cars?
They're not doing anything.
They're not doing anything
As I
now.
said, Chief, they're not doing anything there, right? Yes. Where's the fire chief? I mean, Madam Mayor,
They said
I presume they're doing nothing there right now. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
I believe that they are not
Nothing?
open for
Do they need
business
a license
at
to open
all.
up?
Okay.
All right. All we're asking for is a used auto dealer be licensed to open up to sell used cars.
And I believe, and correct me if I've misunderstood you, but in my conversation with Councilman Zor earlier, his concern is that they have not cleaned up the lot, they have not done anything that the Planning Commission put in there, they've not moved forward. And what he doesn't want to see is another lot full of junk cars,
And everything else.
because the temporary does allow him to operate.
But the temporary is tied to stipulations.
Yes.
So they won't get the temporary until those stipulations are met.
No,
They already got the
He's
temporary.
given them the temporary
Our building department,
That's why Eric wants to stop
That's
anything till they actually get a
till
seal.
they actually finish these stipulations.
There are a number of stipulations that the planning commission has put upon them that I have not seen them do anything.
Right.
yeah.
That was my understanding, was that they had done nothing, and he's concerned that they will be operating under a temporary without meeting any of the planning commission stipulations.
Correct.
So,
But I guess the point being that they're not open. They were given their,
not currently.
right?
They don't have a license, so they can't open.
But if
So
they
is
have a
that
license-
tied to our approval?
He's trying to apply for his used auto dealer license through us so that he can apply to the state for his auto dealer's license. He does not have one at this point.
He's trying to put the cart before the horse.
Right, and he needed a C of O to apply for the license. So he was granted a temporary C of O to apply for the license. Now we're going to approve that license tonight, but he has not moved forward with the Planning Commission's orders for what he needs to do.
So I believe what Councilman Zor's amendment is for is to ensure that they don't, in fact, try to do business until that completed C of O has been issued.
If you take, Madam Mayor, if I might suggest to council, you move the second part about the other activities which aren't lawful at this time. Just say that, subject to acquiring all final approvals by Planning Commission before issuing the permanent C of O. Just add some language of that order, that they shall comply with all of their codes, ordinances, which is customary in your language, and building department requirements, and then you can move forward.
So
I mean, you know that he's not going to be a repair facility now.
he did apply to repair vehicles inside his building.
That they own, only that they own, they did tell us that in the planning commission. That's what they told
But
us.
that hasn't been
He was
approved yet.
granted that through the Planning Commission.
Well, it's still got to go. the
Yeah.
council for approval, because
Right,
that's
so
contrary.
that's
a
gotta- we've
variance.
gotta
They haven't
wait
asked
till
for a
it comes
variance,
to
so
us.
right now, they're just asking for a used auto
Okay, so
dealer's license.
this resolution, be it resolved to the annual 2022
24.
2024 new auto dealer's license be approved with the following conditions: that the business meets and follows all stipulations put forth to them through the planning commission
And the building department and other city.
and the building department and other
City
city
departments.
codes and city departments.
Okay.
Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Any more discussion?
So we're drawing the original resolution and the amendment.
What I'd like to see in the future is somebody jump the gun on this one in our building department. And I feel that our contractors have to be responsible to the city.
Yes.
They're not acting in the best interest of the city. The building department issued a temporary C of O before it came to council or to the
So
city.
Let's finish this right now, and we can discuss that down the road here.
All right.
Okay, Councilperson Zoar,
Yes.
Ross,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Salcido.
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's vote on the original, the resolution as amended, because we just voted on the amendment, so now we're going to vote on the amended resolution. Councilperson Zoar,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Dupre,
Yes.
Ross. I'm sorry, Carrie. With you saying amended, that's just for the correction of it being a new,
Yes.
not renewal. Yes, yes. Salcido?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin?
Yes.
Okay.
See what happens when you get lawyers involved, it complicates.
I know, dang you.
I think I made it a little easier.
Okay, so right now I'm going to close the council and just open a public hearing.
We're going to open the public hearing.
Okay, at this point, I'm going to open a public hearing. The CBG proposed budget. Monique wants to come up, and the time for this is 7:35, 7:34.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and audience. The City of Lincoln Park is holding this public hearing to get public comments and proposals regarding allocations for the upcoming CDBG budget. The City of Lincoln Park anticipates its allocation to be approximately $774,000 in CDBG funding from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for the use of its 2025-2026 program year commencing July 1st, 2025. Of this allocation, approximately $674,000 is available to be allocated amongst various eligible projects, with the cap of public service projects being approximately $116,000. The city anticipates that because of its revolving loan fund, it will also have an additional sum of funding known as program income available for allocation in the homeowner rehab loan program or the HIP program, Housing Stock Improvement Program. The 5-year con plan, developed in 2021, will govern the allocations of these funds. Federal requirements require that all activities funded in whole or in part with CDBG funds meet one of the following objectives. 1, they must directly benefit residents with low to moderate income and/or enhance their quality of living. 2, prevent or eliminate a blight or slum-producing type of influence. Or 3, address a community need of a particular urgency from which no other funds are available. A minimum of 70% of these funds must address objective number 1. CDBG-assisted activities must comply with regulations set forth through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Historically, the city has funded 4 basic categories of activities: public services, home improvement program, infrastructure improvements, and administration. Public services include, but are not limited to, childcare, healthcare, job training, recreation programs, education programs, public safety programs, fair housing activities, services for senior citizens, services for homeless persons, drug abuse counseling and treatment, energy conservation counseling and testing. The public service activities are limited to 15% of the total program funding.
The Home Improvement Program provides code-related improvements to existing homeowners. The program includes low interest rate loans and deferred loans for income qualifying households. This program, in large part, addresses the community's affordable housing needs. Infrastructure improvements vary on a yearly basis, but have included numerous roads, parks, and water and sewer projects. At this time, there are a couple interdepartmental requests for funding, which include code enforcement and the fire department. Two of those items will be relating to thermal imaging cameras and the residential smoke detector program. I'm not sure if at this time there are CDBG applicants in attendance to speak to their funding requests this evening. There is still time for folks to submit, as the deadline is not until the 28th of this month. And myself and the CDBG clerk via email can receive requests for the application itself or the submission of completed applications. The CDBG clerk, her name is Rebecca Smith. Her email is rsmith@citylp.com. Are there any questions or comments at this time?
Ask if there's any public comment.
Is there anybody out there that would like to make a public comment at this time?
Mayor, I have a question, just a couple questions to ask.
Want to come up to?
Yeah.
Okay.
At some point I'd like
On this?
On this? On this, on the?
This, okay.
Okay, no, you're okay.
It's my first meeting and I didn't know.
No, okay, yeah, there'll be public comments at the end, okay? Thank you.
All set?
All right.
Going once, going twice? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, good evening, and happy Black History Month.
Okay, thank you. Close the public hearing at 7:39, and we'll move on to the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple items to report on. As you know, the water main work has started here along Fort Park and the subsequent streets along there. It's been, there's been quite a bit of mud out in the area. If anybody has drove by, they're staged down by the Taco Bell, and they were dragging quite a bit of mud out onto the roadway, all the way down here to City Hall, down through Fort Park. So John did reach out to the contractor, and they hired street sweepers. They came out, cleaned it up. It looks much better today, so we'll keep on them if that continues to be a problem and have them make sure they get it cleaned up. John will talk a little bit more about this tonight, but the lead service line project is starting up. And then our perma patch that the mayor spoke of, we are looking into that and purchasing more. Right now, we're doing a trial basis. We got 1 ton. We spoke to MDOT about it, and they have had huge success with it, so we are excited. It is quite a bit more costly, but if it lasts quite a bit longer, that's a win-win for us. We do have another product that we'll be looking at in the springtime. They want to come out and show it to us, but that has to be done in the warmer weather. And then last meeting, I brought the deficit elimination plan to council. I spoke with the state after that was sent. They do have some follow-up items they want, so at the next meeting, I'll be bringing that back. They're looking for some additional projections for the coming years for the water and sewer fund, and a couple other items to revise on the plan, so I'll bring that back to council. And then one of the council members was asking about recycling, trying to promote it more within the city. So we do have a meeting next week with Priority to talk about that and how we can promote recycling and get our tonnage usage down for the year, the upcoming years, and hopefully save some costs there. So we'll be looking into that and seeing what we can do, get some more promotions out to the community, as well as even in speaking about the recycling, there was quite a few things that I wasn't aware that I have been recycling at my own home that I wasn't aware weren't allowed. So it'll be a good informational session for all of us, I think. So with that, if council has any questions, that's all I have for now.
To the chair. I'm sorry.
Lisa, I would like you to go out and look for in-house building department head.
Okay, yeah, we did previously advertise, so we can redo that posting.
Yeah, I think that we need our own person running our own department, so I think it's time that we start looking for that again.
Okay, absolutely.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jason.
Thank you. The recycling meeting, is that going to be him coming to a council meeting or him coming to City Hall during business hours?
Right now, we're just going to discuss on what we can do, but I would like him to come to the council meeting.
And do you have the date and the time? for the meeting next week?
No, we don't have that. Well, this is just an internal meeting to discuss with them how we can do this, what are other communities doing, what are they seeing, what items can they, how can they help us promote recycling, and what more information can we get out to everybody. So once we kind of have a fact gathering done, then we'll bring them into council and, so that the public can see it, and then we'll put additional information on our website. There's probably some information there, especially as we build the new website, that can be updated. I don't think a lot of that's been changed in quite a few years.
Okay, and I did have a second thing. This actually relates to an item that came to us at the end of last year for one of our dispensary licenses, Moses Roses. I was under the impression that they put in a request to move building locations, and I know our city attorney issued an opinion on it.
Did we deliver that? I think it's...
Yeah,
And I was just wondering, is that process still ongoing? Any update or?
Whatever you, Madam Mayor. May I?
Yes.
Councilman, the opinion was written, it was researched, and the results were not favorable without inviting litigation over the previous award of licenses to moving the locations. We'll get council a copy of that opinion. It's been here some time, but we moved on to other things. We didn't bring it forward, and we'll present that to you. And on the other hand, we have not heard back from Moses Roses since that time. So there's no real formal application. They came and did an inquiry. The mayor directed us to research it. Previous mayor did also, and we've provided the opinion. It was done by the outside counsel that handled the drafting of the other ordinance, and in simple terms, they're recommending against doing it, or you invite the onslaught of litigation over the award of the initial licenses and the changing in the procedure of what the voters voted on and approved for the city.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
but we'll capsulize it in the written form for you and explain it.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything for the city manager?
I do. Can we also, while we're looking for, we're resubmitting for in-house building department head, can we add a planner to that as well? We need to have an in-house city planner.
So we are under contract with the third-party planner currently, so let me look, I believe it was, I can't remember if it was a 2 or a 3-year contract that we did, so we'll have to see what the expiration date is on that. But definitely, once we know what that is, we can start planning going forward.
I'd just like to start getting some of our contractors to work for the city instead of making their own rules.
Yeah, I believe it was right around this time last year that the contract for the planner was awarded, so we do still have some time there.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Through the chair? Lisa, is the what do we call it, patch, was that somewhere where we could drive by and take a peek?
So the day that we did the sampling, that was at Abbott and,
Wood and Mill.
I'm sorry, I said Abbott, Applewood and Farnham. Yep, right by the school there.
Mill.
Okay.
Applewood and Mill.
I messed that all up.
Applewood and Mill.
Right behind Hoover School, correct?
Oh,
Yeah.
Captain.
Okay. We'll let John speak on that when he gets up tonight. But that, I don't know, have you put any more out, John, since then? Because that was just a small, it was a demonstration. They only had a little bit of, for us to sample.
right.
So then we did order 1 ton to start off with. But John
Looks
can,
very good.
It does look
It
good.
looks very good.
The nice thing
Good,
about that
good.
is when they put it down, there's no gravelly parts or anything. It's just,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go on your tires and under your wheel wells or anything. It just stays
Oh,
right
nice.
there,
yeah. When you look at it, though, it looks just like cold patch. But yeah, the guys were stepping on it with their boots and it wasn't moving. So that's nice. It won't crumble up onto the cars as you drive over it. But MDOT has said wonderful things about it. There's a few other communities out there using it as well. So we will have to offset with some cold patch as we transition to it, just because it's so costly. But it's definitely a good product.
Very good, thank you.
Anyone else? Nope. Okay. With that, I have citizens communications.
Department head report.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot you, John.
You're good.
John, it's your turn. DPS report.
Good evening. This will be a DPS report, but also Cal Hanna from Hennessy is here to kind of speak to what the engineering firm has going for us. But to add on to what the city managers already said, we did put out some samples of PermaPatch. Since then, we've also ordered an additional 1 ton to try to put up or put in additional areas so that we can keep an eye on it. The unfortunate part is we've been inundated with either long days of water main repairs, and that's cut our work staff in half, and or snow events, which again is stop us from putting out PermaPatch. And unfortunately, we have, it sounds like another winter storm coming in Wednesday. So that may hamper that also. But anyways, for the DPS, this is from last November of 24 up through January of 25. I did hand out a copy of this report, so I'm just going to read through it. You can see the current staffing, and there is a attachment of the present staffing. 27 full-timers and 4 vacancies, including directors and assistant directors and 2 foremen. 2 part-timers with 4 vacancies. We've got 2 part-time co-op students. That's something new. I don't know if the city's ever had co-op students before, but so far the co-op students have been working out pretty well. For the roads, they've cold patched 29 work orders, cold patch purchase 46 tons, repaired street signs 64, replaced street signs again, animal shelter signs, tree removals, and the tree removals are trees that we've had the ability and the timing to take down because they were more of an emergency resultant of a weather event. We do G runs, which are 2 per week, and that's Mondays and Fridays. We've had 3 different snow events. Water Department sent between November 1st of last year and January 31st. We've had 40 water main breaks. Water service repairs 11. Hydrants flushed 91. Backfill purchase for water main breaks 426 tons. Sand purchase for water main repairs 259 tons. Sewers, backed up basement call-outs, we've had 22. Sewers jetted 51. Pumps repaired 1. Flooded basement 3. And rain event 1. Road contractual service, tree services, we've had 132 trees removed, 137 stumps removed, and 91 trims. Presently, we've fulfilled the financial commitment of our tree contract. Unfortunately, we had a problem there where the contractor did not keep us up to date with his invoicing. He fell very behind in invoicing, so right now we're presently a little bit over our contract amount. I still have to meet with that contractor because they did not have authorization to go beyond the financial contract, and we wanted to actually keep $25,000 stashed away in case we had any spring bad weather events, and then we would furnish it out and finish it in June before the new budget year. So that's still going to be an issue, but that's about where we stand right now. Anybody have any questions?
Through the chair? Through the chair,
Yes.
if I could?
Yes.
John, did you explain what a G-run is?
G-Run is actually a garbage pickup out in the parks.
Okay. And I just wanted to add that I am so thankful that the DPS supervisors, when we have a water main break, that we get those text messages letting us know, but they also let us know afterwards. And I think that's
I will pass it on to them.
yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. But why does this say that we have four vacancies with part-time? That's,
Well, if you flip the page, it'll give you each of the departments where we budgetarily have vacancies,
okay.
where we have not been able to fulfill bringing people in.
Okay, and our water department is where we need them.
Well, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines down where it says water. Typically, we would have 9 people in there.
And so
We're lacking a few.
Yeah, we're working with 6. How long have we been working with 6?
It's a curious question because sometimes we'll be full, and all of a sudden, they've gone elsewhere, or they've lost interest and don't want to be there. It's always a big revolving door.
Okay. I forget that when they start in the water, right?
Yep, and then they'll bid out to other departments.
Yeah, okay.
Then one last thing before Cal comes up with the engineering report, as the city manager's already said, the water main installation, kind of in this area, it started a couple weeks ago. Presently, we have a 600 lead service replacement contract that was awarded by this body. That contractor started this morning. And we have another 300 lead service contract that was awarded by this body, and they are hoping to start the beginning of March.
Through the chair,
all
Your
those-
Honor. Oops, sorry,
I'm
just-
sorry.
no,
I was
go
just
ahead.
going to ask if those notices have gone out to the
Yes.
residents.
Yes, they
Okay.
have.
Perfect.
Matter of fact, the finance department has sent out approximately 1,000 on behalf of the Hennessy and the DPS.
Thank you.
Hey, John, just 2 quick questions.
Yes, sir.
So this says November 1st through January 31st, so on the tree removals, there was 132 and 137 stumps?
Yes, sir.
And also trims from that time frame?
Yes, sir.
Wow, very good. Next question. I talked to Dennis a couple weeks ago in regards to the Braverman Park sign. Do you guys do those, or is that contracted out? The
We do
sign's
those.
Damaged.
We do those internally.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll get with Dennis later. Thank you.
John, the sign at Fort and Southfield in the center there, it's in pretty bad shape. Can we get someone to look at that too when things calm down a little bit?
We've already purchased the material. We want to change the material product because that was plywood.
Yeah.
And we'd like to go to a better material. And we're in the process of purchasing that. And the signs are made in between weather events and everything else.
Calms
Yeah.
down a little bit. 'Cause,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's looking pretty rough out there, so. And I just want to say thank you to all the work and the DPS guys, and I know the hours they're putting in and the conditions they're working on, and they're just heroes to the city here, and thank them for everything they do. We are very grateful and appreciative for everything that they're out there doing.
I will pass that on to them.
Thank you so much.
Cal,
Also,
you're next.
Yeah, I'm thankful also for the upgrade they did to my office. It looks wonderful, so thank you so much.
When are the tours?
Pardon me? What?
When are the tours of that office?
Right after the meeting.
To the chair, I just
John,
wanted
Eric
to...
has something for you.
I just wanted to say that the school has received accreditation from us hiring some of the students. So I wanted to pass that on. That I'm extremely grateful that we're making this attempt to try to integrate the school into our city departments. And you're picking them up and stuff really, truly helped.
Well, thank God that they are being delivered here, and the full-timer that they are working with picks them up here. And then to add to that, what I'm hoping to do is bring in maybe an additional 6 students to go out and help us paint hydrants. But that's a warm weather process.
Correct. Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Good evening. City Mayor and City Manager, City Council. So my name is Carl, I work with NC Engineers. I already hand out for you a copy of the project status report from NC Engineers. So the City of Lincoln Park infrastructure and CIP programs received a lot of grant money to complete much needed infrastructure projects. I will go one by one. For the ACO agreement, which is the Administrative Court Order Agreement, I'm just going to put the update. March 1st, we have to submit an annual report by our firm, and we are working on that now. Project Cariapol sewer rehabilitation, this is completed, lining the storm and the sanitary sewer. Sewer cleaning and TV, this is also completed for 2022 to 2023. The sewer lining, project 73128A, this is started in 2023 and still going. 78% of this project is done. For retention concrete basin repair, this project is done, it's completed. Water main replacement of 2023, this is completed and gloss out. The 71171, which is the DWAM, this is two projects in one. It was a grant from the state. It's two projects, DSMI, which is distribution system material investigation. This project's completed. Through that project, we identified 81 water services as lead material. The asset management report is should be submitted by February 15, and Hennessy Engineers working on that to be submitted on that date. PRV design installation, the bid opening was done on September 25th of 2024. RJ&J was the lowest bidder. We still waiting, we submit the permit to Eagle and we're still waiting for that permit to be approved. For 2023 road reconstruction, that was completed. MS Bridge replacement, the city received the local bridge funding from MDOT. Hennessy Engineers is a process to design this project. The construction is scheduled to be started on 2026. In 2024, the city received approximately $60 million in grant money. I'd like to thank the city manager, Lisa Griggs, and DBS director, John Kazoo, for all their hard work in helping us to secure all the grant money to the city. In 2024, sewer cleaning and lining projects and pump station improvement, Emmons and Lincoln Pump Station. This project was granted from the state ARPA money, $16,305,000. These projects are all in construction right now. We started the MSN pump station and Lincoln pump stations. We are at the beginning of the project. For the sewer cleaning and TV, 37% of that project is completed to date. For the sewer lining project is 62% completed to date. The city of Lincoln Park has also grant money. This is $8 million from ARPA money for infrastructure improvement. These projects include the cleaning, televising, sanitary sewer, smoke testing, ACO priority district sewer flooding area, and lining sanitary sewer for the retention basin, and retention basin infrastructure, which include pumps, lining, and generator for that project to be purchased. For 2024, the water main replacement program, the city secured $11,530,000 water main work. We have two phases for water main replacement. Phase 1 is done, completed to date. Phase 2 just started about in February of this year. For the more explanation about the phase B, The contract was awarded to Inner City Contracting in the amount of $6,123,001, and that's all like ARPA money, so it's a grant. The contractor started working February this year. These projects are estimated to reduce approximately 100 water main breaks per year and replacing approximately 590 water services. Project also, CDBG disaster relief, that's a sewer lining project. The city was approved for that. It's approximately $3 million. We are working on the environmental clearance and design. This is expected to take approximately 90 days from today. Once we receive the clearance, we will put the project out for bid. There's also the CDBG for the reconstruction of parking lot. We're also waiting for the environmental clearance for the project to be started. As John mentioned, we're starting 2024 lead water service replacement. This is also grant money. That's a project will replace 600 water main services, lead water services that were identified by the DSMI project and the city records. This project was awarded to Brico Excavating in the amount of $4,441,400. The construction started as of today. For the MDOT LD FA road program, this bid opening was on September 18, 2024, and was awarded to Mark Anthony as he was the lowest bidder in the amount of $4,428,870. He anticipated to start this project in spring, weather permitting. For the 2024 Authority Concrete program, that's completed. 2024 reconstruction program, road reconstruction program, that's completed. The 2024 resurfacing program for 2024 was completed. The 2024 sectioning program, that was completed too. For the 2025 road reconstruction and resurfacing program, this is in process and we're discussing with John to find like which area we should be replacing in the 2025. Project Airmark lead water service replacement is also a grant. This project will replace 300 lead water services that were identified from the city record. 5-Star Energy Services were the lowest bidder and awarded this project in the amount of $2,388,180. Construction work is expected to start, as John mentioned, March 2025. So in 2025, project SRF and grant, the city secured and awarded $4,608,000 as a grant money, $6,912,000 as a low interest rate loan for the proposed 2025 water main and lead water service replacement project that include replacing of approximately 24,000 linear feet of water main and 350 lead water services and services. The total project cost will be $11,520,000. Hennessy Engineers is in the design phase of the project and will comply with all legal requirements to secure the funding and start construction by January 2026. For 2026 projects, SRF and grant application, this is a letter of intent that each year, Hennessy with the cooperation with the city, we submit it to Eagle, to the state, hoping to the SRF process that will hoping the city will qualify for some principal forgiveness and grant money to do these projects like water main and sewer rehabilitation. Any questions?
Thank you. Does anybody have anything for Cal?
Through the chair?
Yes.
Cal,
Yes,
can I take you back to page 3?
sure.
Was that, where it says PRV, that's the pressure relief valves, right?
That's correct.
Okay. I've been waiting on that one. Okay.
We're waiting too for Eagle to approve it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you so much. At this time, with the citizens' communication, does anybody have anything that they'd like to address us? Sir, would you like to address us now? Yes. Please state your name.
Hi, Mayor. My name is Rabbi Staton, and it's nice to meet you, and congratulations on your election and everything. And members, nice to address you today. I moved back home to Downriver after being in Ohio for years. I grew up here. I drank the water. I went to the public schools, played in the Little Leagues. I can't say enough about Lincoln Park. It's in my heart. I had to come back after many years. My dad was a auto worker at Hamtramck Gear and Axle for GM, and my mom was she was a homemaker and a part-time. She worked at A&P grocery store as a meat cutter, one of the local stores. So I grew up during a really great time during Bob Lowe and all I had a chance to go to the old high school that it was Huff Junior High when I was there, the old high school, a real iconic era in Downriver. But I raised two boys. Long story short, I raised two boys down there in Ohio, and they're doing good. One's in the Ohio Senate right now, working with the chief of staff and Senator Lang and a bunch of senators and stuff, carrying out legislation work. My other son's doing well. But when they were growing up, I always brought them back here to the Downriver area. And we always did all the traditional things, the Tiger games, the Red Wing games, so on and so forth, everything that we always did. And I shared what I knew of the world. It all started right here. Anyway, as time advanced, here we are where we are now. And I felt led to, I prayed about it, and I saw a lot of changes that went on in Lincoln Park. So I ended up, selling my company and coming back up here after, I'm in my 50s now, so it's good to be home, but it's really different than the way it used to be. It's an old familiar friend. The buildings are here, but, there's a lot of things that's changed. And I felt led to come back because I wanted to be a part of the answer. We were always involved down there. I was part of a Messianic congregation down there, and I taught my boys to be civically minded. And so we got involved in various things. I feel led to come up here and just be a part of the solution. I sold my company, came up here, and I got a little bit bored, I would say, so I started doing some construction work, and it's been pretty good. But my heart is just, praying about possibly, helping out in some manner. Where I'm seeing, my concern, as someone who grew up here and seeing what I'm seeing now, and not to be political or anything, but we have to talk about hard issues. We've seen some major changes. I am concerned about the foreign nationals that have poured into Downriver, specifically into Lincoln Park, unvetted, unchecked. In light of the new administration that's come forth and the laws that have been passed down through the DOJ and things where where he has asked all the provinces, cities, counties across America and their law enforcement, from sheriffs to the local police, and now we're seeing, like in Florida, where Governor DeSantis is deputizing the State Patrol to work with the DOJ, and the immigration policy has come forth. My question to you is, knowing what I'm seeing, and it's common sense, do you, Mayor, do you plan on working with immigration code enforcement, ICE? Mayor, I'm asking you a direct question because...
I'm going to answer you, sir.
Yes. Oh, I'm not finished yet. No, respectfully, Mayor. I pray that we're making the right decisions here in the city. I don't know where we are. I'm asking as a concerned citizen. I would like real answers from the people that are truly in charge here. Do we plan on deputizing the police in Lincoln Park to work directly with immigration, because we're in a serious time right now and we need serious solutions and people who really care about the law? And that's my question. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Obviously.
I'll be happy to speak with you afterwards. Is there anybody else that would like to ask any questions to this body? Okay, no one else? moving on, we'll go on to oral reports of the mayor and council.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I hit the streets of Lincoln Park here recently. I'm just going to name a couple of businesses I've been to, and I would hope the citizens would attend these businesses also. Of course, my restaurants, Los Charros Restaurant on Dixon Goddard, the Antique Mall on Champaign and Dix, great place to go. H&M Party Store, so I get my lottery and my Pepsi. 4th Street Plumbing, I was there. They're going to be coming by in the next couple of days. Motor City Battery helped me out. My battery died. Alert Heat and Cooling, they helped me with my furnace. McCaffrey's Lounge, they helped me in a fundraising event. And also Sal's Barbershop, as you can see. Also, obviously, Ace and CVS. There's a grand opening tomorrow, as we all know, 4141 Dick's, next to the Cameo Restaurant. I cannot make the grand opening tomorrow. However, I dropped in there today, met the owner, and a very nice guy. So there is a grand opening. I'm sure the other colleagues here will mention that. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Lillian?
Thank you, Mayor. I want to start with my ZBA report. Well, no, I want to back up. Does H&M sell their lotteries? Are they winners?
I'll never tell. Sorry.
Okay, ZBA report. ZBA met on January the 16th, and they had an application from Lee's Famous Chicken, and I know that Councilwoman DePrey talked about it, that they had been at planning. They needed a variance, and they were granted. So they're off to a good start. And then I just have a couple of reminders. The Little League still has one more sign up on February the 22nd. If you have little ones interested in playing Little League, that'll be from 12 to 4 at the Downriver Christian Center Church at 1069 Buckingham. And then I just want to remind everyone also of the poster competition. As we celebrate our 100th anniversary, the Parks and Rec Department is hosting a poster competition, inviting residents of all ages. So pass that information along to your friends, family, co-workers, the residents of Lincoln Park. They're eligible. And that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. Tracy?
Again, I'd like to thank our DPS crew for being out in the cold, all hours of the day and night, water issues, roads. We appreciate you. Prayers for your health and safety. February seems like the longest month rather than the shortest. Stay safe, stay warm, keep your animals inside and warm with you, please. Good night and God bless.
Thank you. Jason?
The Library Commission met last Thursday. They do have an upcoming program this March in conjunction with the DIA that's coming up. That should be a nice addition to the library. They don't have a date for their spring book sale, but it will be sometime in the first week of May, and they are always accepting donations for the book sale. And I just like to say this Saturday is the DDA annual chocolate walk. Although for full disclosure, I don't know of anyone that actually walks it, maybe more of a chocolate trail. That starts at noon. You can get your maps at Icarus Hall next to the Park Restaurant, and that goes from noon until 4. And that's always a nice way to get out there and run and discover some new businesses that we have here in Lincoln Park. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Eric?
I'd just like to say they had, again, we communicated with the high school, and we have right now 54 students that are 3 languages or more in the school, and they have to get a seal of biliteracy from the council, not this council, but from the ethnic council. And they need that because it allows them to get scholarships. And they are very excited about Lincoln Park, that we have done so much to move them along. Also want to thank all of our department heads. Everybody does such a great job here, so I really appreciate it. And with that, I'll say good night.
All right. Got a bunch of good stuff here coming up. So first we'll start with the CIC reports. Myself and Mayor Tobin are on the CIC together. So we set up a day for the garden walk, which is going to be August 9th. I know it's a far way away, but we want to get ahead of this thing. We got a nice little poster made. I should say Maureen made the poster. It's beautiful. So look out for that. Also the applications. We introduced a new member, former Mayor Micah Higgins, and then the next meeting we'll have 2 new members. So it's pretty awesome. I'm really excited to have a full group so we can actually continue going. Met the museum. We had our meeting last a couple weeks ago. They officially opened February 1st. It is free for everybody, but donations are greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. So take your family. You can't go anywhere for free, especially with an awesome museum that we have. So stop in, take the kids, go with your significant other, go by yourself, have fun, throw a couple bucks in the donation jar, and let's keep that museum running. March 4th is our fundraiser for Texas Roadhouse. You can mention the fundraiser, or if you'd like, I can personally email you a flyer. There'll also be flyers throughout the city here. I'm going to start taking them out pretty quick. Any business that allow me to, I'm going to put some flyers in there so we can all get as much money for that museum as we can. May 8th is our annual dinner. It's a Roaring 20s theme, obviously, for 100 years. If you're a member of the Historical Museum, it's $30. If you're a non-member, it's $40 for dinner. There's going to be a quintet there, dancing, a good time. There will be no speakers this year. It's all about fun this time around. Membership information is available at lphistorical.org. Lincoln Park High School has their play. It is a Chorus Line Teen Edition, March 6th, 7th, and 8th at 7 p.m. $12 at the door, $10 in advance if you can find a student. If you know someone that goes to the school, get your tickets in advance. It's always a good time. I've attended the last 3 plays that they've put on, and it's a really great production value. And last but not least, Mr. Gazoo, thank you so very much for allowing me to come out and have a little fun. I went out with the DPS on Wednesday. I spent the day with the guys. I went out and helped on a water main break, and then came back with Tyler, and we salted the city for the pre-ice storm. So I had a blast. I got plans to set up. I'm gonna go hang out with the sewer guys next time I go out. So I see department heads over back there that I'm gonna come say hi. Scott's hiding. I see. It's fine. But just everybody stay safe, especially with this snow. We're supposed to be getting here pretty quick. I know the guys will be out. I might call you guys up and ride along again. It's pretty fun. It's a good time. I recommend it. I'm just saying. So thank you guys very much. Everybody stay safe. John, all the guys, Chris, Justin, Penny, everybody else. There's so many names to list that it's hard work, and unless you're in that hole with water squirting in your face, or you almost drop a shovel because it's so wet, like I hope that everybody understands how hard those guys work, and we really appreciate them. And that is it.
Thank you, Jason. So I just want to say, again, thank you to the DPS guys, and I do not want water in my face or drop a shovel. So, but I might go for a ride in a truck. That might be kind of fun. Congratulations to the Parks and Rec Department on a successful daddy-daughter dance. It looked like it was amazing. Very well done. Thank you. I want to mention Sergeant Joe Galbraith, on 23 years, retired this past week. Congratulations, sir. And
Bedikian Memorial.
What?
Adam Bedikian's memorial.
And yes, Adam Bedikian, owner of A&R Music, passed away last week. His memorial is Saturday from 5 to 10 at the VFW Hall off Ford Avenue in Wyandotte. So a great community member, been here for such a long time, very unexpectedly passed away. So keep his family in your thoughts and prayers, please. And with that, I'll say goodnight, and I wish you all a very happy, happy Valentine's Day. Hug the ones you love, and be kind to everyone. And let's resolve that the meeting be adjourned at... So moved.
Support.
8:22. So moved.
Councilperson Salcido?
Yes.
Dupre?
Yes.
Bear?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Ross? Yes. Soar?
Yes.
And Mayor Tobin.
Yes.
Good night, everybody, and thank you.